Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you, Ajuri. Well, let me ask you, Chief Shoniba, at that summit, you know, one of the things you hear people say all the time, especially when there's any summit about anything, is they hope it won't end up as a talk shop. For that particular one that held, was there any talk about the performance of the security agencies? Because there's been so much talk about how they performed in the first instance to either stem the tide or let it keep going on.
Well, I must say that the report from the various security agencies, and some of them were confidential, so I can't reveal them on television. It shows that the challenges that we have in meeting the insecurity in the country requires even rearranging the security agencies themselves and having some synergy that allows security agencies to operate professionally in a way and manner that will ensure better security. The gentleman that was contributing from Accra seems to be focusing on just herdsmen. The Security Summit actually was taking a holistic view of various security challenges, even the economic, even issues of economic security challenges was discussed at that summit. In saying that even economic deprivation that brings about abject poverty tends to breed a willing group of people who can be used in the way that he's saying that he's suggesting the herdsmen are being used by some other
Isn't that going to suggest a wider implication, because governments almost at every level will have to take a flak there because of perhaps their economic performance, implementing whatever economic program they have for the people?
Well, that's why it is also suggested that we need governments to be accountable at different levels of government and to be autonomous in being able to take decisions on the aspects of the law that they can make laws on, and that if there's a failure at that level, then that failure will require the electorate to hold the person at that level that's responsible for implementing those laws, as the executive, the local government level, the chairman, and those who are at the local government level. If it's a state, with the governor and the state legislature. If it's the National Assembly, with the president and his ministers and those who are making laws at that level of government. So unless you actually have a truly federal system which holds all those levels of government accountable and responsible for enforcing the laws, for churning out the laws as well, then really it's the blame game will be what everyone would hold as the issue why they're unable to perform. At the center now, we'll be told that Nigeria is too vast a country to police, which is true. I mean, that's a fact.
Police centrally.
It's the police centrally. That's a fact, and that's a treason.
Well, what infrastructure would we be looking to see apart from this mechanism for accountability? What other infrastructure would we be looking to see to have effective devolution? Because even if the powers are, we have this devolution of powers, decentralized policing system, there are those who are afraid that Nigeria is not ready. We're not, for want of a better example, mentally, attitudinally, or socially ready for that kind of policing system.
Well, Nigeria was ready in the 50s.
Even though that was there.
To actually do all the things that they're saying that we're not ready to do. And we forget that we started this nation, and Nigeria was put together several groups of nations into one entity. And there's nowhere in the world where you put together several nations that you adopt a unitary system of government. The fact that you're bringing several nations together makes it critical in ensuring that you operate a federal system. Because you see, it's in operating a federal system that you even limit the issue of ethnicity being an issue. Because if different parts are responsible for taking all the decisions that affect their lives, their daily chores, their issues of light, issues of infrastructural deficit needs, then it limits the tendency to blame one other ethnic group for the deficiencies in your own region or your own state. But the more you operate as a unitary system, the more you allow ethnicity and you allow the blame game for someone to blame one other ethnic group for being responsible for the challenges or the lack of ability of the state to perform the functions of the state. So really, if you look at all the issues, all the industries, there's no, even countries that have a greater degree of hegemony than we have, when there's a body, when there's a group challenging the distribution of wealth, what people do to assuage that challenge is to devolve power to them so that they take all the decisions and will not blame anybody else for their shortcomings.
So clearly some hurdles to cross there. We'll be hoping that eventually they do something about that, but we have to anchor at this point. Chief Chupo Shonibara is an Afeni Ferry chieftain and the legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Ajiri.